Hi folks, Sam here. A couple of quick things before we get started. First off, if you go to Etsy and search for Cinema Swirl, our t-shirts are £5 off at the moment. You just need to use the code TIFFIN. That's TIFFIN. Awesome. Less awesome is that towards the end of this episode there were some audio issues, but we'll get to that when we get there. Anyway, enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, welcome to Cinema Swirl and Snakes Alive. It's episode number 25. Hello, but once again, I'm Kevin, joined by my OTP, former Pepsi addict, but full-time Protestant nonetheless, Sam Chaplin, who's not seen any of them films.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah? You recovered from Lord of the Rings?
Yeah. Loved Lord of the Rings.
You didn't love Lord of the Rings, I
didn't love Lord of the Rings. No, didn't like it.
You know what? I'll say one thing about the Lord of the Rings thing. First and foremost.
Yeah.
You didn't seem to get any shit at all for not liking Lord of the Rings.
No, everyone was fine with it.
Everyone was totally fine with it.
Yeah.
I badmouthed The Hobbit, like, vaguely badmouthed The Hobbit. And I got every fucking Hobbit head north of the Shire calling out for my goddamn blood. I like Lord of the Rings.
Nah, you don't like it enough, mate. you don't like all of the spin-offs.
It's sequel swirl here. You know, obviously the series showing its age now at this point if we're going into sequels of movies that you've not seen. Although we did see Back to the Future 2, which might make this entire thing pointless.
Yeah.
But sequel swirl, the vote for this went up on facebook.com/cinema swirl.
That's facebook.com/cinema swirl. Wait a minute, that's not the thing.
It's like riding a horse. You never forget it, okay? Like a two-wheeled horse.
Yeah.
Easy peasy pie. This was quite a close one. Nearly 400 votes cast in total.
Yeah, lots of people voting.
People love voting.
I think maybe our biggest vote?
I think it may be.
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think it is.
I reckon it's our biggest vote.
It probably is then.
So yeah.
Yeah,
probably.
why not?
Close but no cigar was Rocky 2.
Yeah.
But Aliens won this one outright with a hefty majority towards the end. It started off neck and neck, but Aliens just kind of snowballed into it. So
sort of a Trump-esque situation.
Very much. No one took it seriously. No one,
Aliens will never get in.
Aliens is too boombastic and too silly.
And yet here we are, episode 25.
In 2016,
it's
nonetheless,
happening.
It's finally happening.
Not many votes for Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters 2, yeah. People,
maybe the first one is the classic of that.
Maybe
franchise.
People were just like sick of Ghostbusters after the new Ghostbusters came out, which was the worst thing that had happened this year. Celebrity deaths, political, social, economic strife across the world notwithstanding. Apparently that was the worst thing that happened this year. Grow up, everyone. Come on. For fuck's sake. It's the movie.
Just a ghost movie, man.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I was very, very, very tempted to Rick troll you, as the kids do on the internet, and just show you the sequel to Lord of the Rings, which is The Two Towers.
Yeah, so we sit down for Aliens and just Two Towers. Got you.
I done you there, mate. I've done you good and proper.
The problem with that prank is I just be like, oh, that's the wrong fit. Stop.
Sorry, I thought this steak was rare. I didn't realise it was well done, because I've been done by the Done Master, who's always doing you.
Ryan Dunn over here.
So, are we ever going to do this? People keep asking this.
Yeah.
Because there's some people out there, let's just call them #Team Kevin, who maybe enjoyed the fact that you hated the movie and were grandly underwhelmed by it and want us to do the other Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah. No, I saw that there were people who wanted us to do Two Towers like almost immediately.
Because there were some people who were like, even though Sam has seen it in the cinema, he's not seen it proper.
So he has to see it proper.
So he has to actually see it like.
I think it doesn't fall into the remit of Cinema Swirl if I've seen it. Even if I didn't pay attention, even if I can't remember what happened. It's not within the remit.
So can we do Return of the King then? I mean...
No, I don't want to. I don't want to watch it.
Alright, because here's the God's honest truth.
Respect my wishes.
I'm going to pull back the curtain right here, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not telling people to go tweet Sam and, bombard Cinema Swirl with metrics and data that I can use to prove my point here.
Yeah.
but I pretty much have 13 years worth of Lord of the Rings jokes and impressions stored up inside me.
Okay.
And you are denying the world those right now with your selfish, stupid attitude because you didn't like Lord of the Rings.
But I just don't want... Well, let's do The Hobbit.
Look,
Come on, Kevin. Let's do The Hobbit.
all right, so...
Which is not a classic.
It's not, no. Not like The Two Towers is. So it's either going to be we go straight to Return of the King or we do The Hobbit. But I think that we can't leave Tolkien behind.
Okay, well, maybe.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to leave it as a solid maybe.
You know, I made a promise, Mr. Frodo, to all...
You, Mr. Frodo. I don't...
To all the lads back in the Shire, you know.
We were going to do all the 3-hour fucking films.
I hate to break it to you. Do you know how long Aliens is today?
No.
It's over 2.5 hours long.
That's fine.
Now, because... is this going to be an issue with us before we even get into this?
I think there's been a thing where, like, not recently, but in a few of the films, it's been like, Sam hates long films. He can only pay attention for an hour and a half.
Millennials, man.
Exactly. If only this film was a Vine, then maybe I'd be fine with it. But
maybe this movie had some sort of Snapchat filter over it. Like,
yeah,
I could enjoy it.
Dog ears and the tongue coming out of Ripley.
It's just not the way I want to consume my content.
Instead of the aliens, like, weird mouth thing, just like a funny, like, rainbow puke came out of it. That would be... I'd prefer that.
Are you prejudiced against long movies?
I don't know. There's been...
Because we've watched some long ones that you've not...
So Good, the Bad and the Ugly, I struggled with the length. Lord of the Rings, I struggled with the length.
Good, the Bad and the Ugly.
Ones?
Good, the Bad and the Ugly.
Yeah.
You had work the next morning and it was very long.
That's true.
Lord of the Rings.
I had nothing to do.
Eagle-eyed listeners might have figured out that Sam did have some intestinal distress.
I did.
There is a solid 20 minutes that we cut out of that episode because Sam was in another room.
Yeah.
A room that had plumbing, let's just say.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if it's just a case of bad timing.
Maybe, yeah. No, so
timing.
I've had some bad experiences with long films, but it's not to say that I'm ruling them out as a thing that I don't like.
Okay.
You know, if it's quality and enjoyable all the way through, and it doesn't feel long,
yeah,
then I think I'd be fine with it.
So we're going for quality and
quantity. Yeah.
Okay, not just quality or just quantity.
No.
Okay, we're going for a double.
Got to have
here.
both.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, before we start talking about our super special sequel du jour, Aliens, let's dip our noses and toes and other extraneous body parts into the mailbag. Just gonna go football. Here's Sam and Kevin looking at that old mailbag again. Got a number of questions, queries, and comments to cinemaswirl@gmail.com.
That's cinemaswirl@gmail.com.
Now, we got a number of great messages in here, and it's nice to kind of see people, emailing in again on the reg now that we're, back releasing episodes.
Back from hiatus.
Thank
you for your emails.
Thanks for your emails. Steve Saxton writes, Steve Saxton would like to connect on LinkedIn. How would you like to respond? Well, Steve Saxton, I will confirm that I know you. We are a podcast, not a professional. So we get a lot. Do you know we get a lot of LinkedIn?
No.
Like, as in, I'm just going to search right now on the inbox.
Okay.
I'm not saying that you're... Jesus!
Well, we got a lot.
Yes! Steve, you've invited us 4 times in the last year! What the... That's so many!
Calm it down, Steve.
Alright, we've gotten 13 invites to join LinkedIn.
That's pretty good, considering we're not a business.
Well, no one ever wants to join my actual LinkedIn. Me with my, impressive resume. But you want to join a fucking podcast? We can't get you work. Come on now. It's alright, Steve. It's okay. We'll add you in there. Got a question from Thomas Wilshire, who writes, Lads. Does Sam own any film soundtracks? If so, which ones? If not, which soundtrack have you enjoyed the most so far from the movies that we've watched? Cheers, you bloody pair of bloody blokes, you. There's a lot of blood in this. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, we're a couple of bloody blokes.
Bloody blokes covered in...
Bloody buffs.
Visceral blokes.
So, I would say, in terms of film soundtracks that I've got, I like that you didn't ask that question to you. It wasn't like, has Kevin got any film soundtracks?
I've got loads.
You've got loads.
So
okay.
what?
All right.
So what?
Yeah. It's about me, yeah?
Cinema Sam, like.
I've got the Reservoir Dogs soundtrack on vinyl.
Ooh.
Because it came on coloured vinyl, and you got one of the colours of the Mr. Pink,
Mr. Shit.
I got Mr. Brown. I got the brown one. I got brown vinyl.
Oh, was it like kind of like
it was a
lucky
mystery
dip?
package. I was like, I might get pink or orange or blonde. Brown. Fucking brown. It's a good soundtrack.
Have you ever accidentally tried to eat it thinking that it was a nice big chocky?
Why has that not been like a novelty gift? Like a chocolate record?
I will say, living in Manchester now, centre of the universe.
Oh, of course they've got
culture.
chocolate records in Manchester.
There is this place at the moment in with local markets that their whole gimmick is they just do chocolate blank.
Right.
Like chocolate gloves, chocolate ashtray.
Yeah.
Any sort of chocolate thing they'll do,
Okay.
I don't know if they do a chocolate record though. I just figured that, if I had any kind of brain things like that,
Do they do teapots?
No, they don't. They're not that useless, unfortunately. So is that the only one that you own? Any ones that we've watched ourselves which had like soundtracks that you were
I always come
fan
back
of?
to Lebowski in terms of like a good soundtrack, in terms of like not original songs, but like a curated,
Fitting, amazing. Oh,
yeah, soundtrack rather than a score. In terms of scores, like the Star Wars ones are really good.
Yeah.
The music is really good.
Lord of the Rings, of course, all-time great classic.
Pile of piss, mate, because I hate Lord of the Rings. I like soundtracks rather than scores mostly.
Quentin Tarantino's very good at that, isn't he?
He's very good at that. It's like he was making playlists before Spotify was a thing, yeah?
I got like the Pulp Fiction soundtrack when I was like 14, like on CD when I like my first proper Discman, and I listened to that shit religiously.
Yeah,
it was
it's
just
good.
like, god damn. Even like stuff that he was only playing in the background seemed like really like well chosen and really thought out.
Has it got little like clips from the movie in it?
Yes, yeah.
I like that.
Good.
I've got the Scott Pilgrim soundtrack on vinyl as well, on like red vinyl. Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Also, as well, in my vinyl collection,
Yes.
which was passed down through Adam when he accidentally left it behind,
Okay.
got a Star Wars vinyl soundtrack that Adam's dad got free with free packets of Chivers jelly with a promotion Spar was running in the late 70s.
That's amazing. That's lovely.
So, at some point...
Does it have all that on the back of it? Does it
Yeah,
say,
it literally says Star Wars and Brian's like, Chivers jelly and Spar happy to bring you.
That's
this
so cool.
record. Remember that back in the day when you go down to Spar and get some jam and a couple of records?
Those were the days.
Broken Britain.
Yeah, wouldn't get that these days.
If Britain was a cake, it would be a broken biscuit cake. A broken Brexit cake. Brexit. That's what it is, mate. Yeah?
So
Good
that's
question.
answered that question.
That's answered that question.
Yes.
Exactly. Here's a great fucking question here.
Okay.
Bloody love it here from Toby Spiller. Writing, Dear Sam and Kevin, my question is... Before any big important film starts, you're always greeted by one of the many studio intro sequences and its accompanying memorable fanfare.
Okay.
Such as 20th Century Fox, or Universal, or the magnificent THX Football. That one, I was wondering if either you have any particular favourite ones of these themes, or if, like my dad, you detest them and frequently hacking "Get on with the bloody film" at the television, violently mashing every button on the DVD player control in an attempt to skip through them.
Okay. Have you got any favourites?
There's one or two which I remember, because Dolby used to do the sound in my local cinema.
Right.
So they would do a little thing at the start, which is like, well, let's show you what we can do.
Yeah.
Okay, even if you're going to go see You, Me and Dupree in the cinema, we want to show you the full range of what you could possibly hear. So they would show a helicopter that was flying through some badly CGI'd buildings. This is like the late 90s, so it was like an N64 game.
Around you.
Like you do a big guitar, and you hear the blades, and then it would go over to a big building, which was a cinema, and then the doors would open and light would flood out and would go, and then all life on Earth would cease at that point. Then they play a movie, and
the sound ones have to be really like
they're
loud.
They're showing off.
Yeah.
There was another one as well, which I think either THX or Dolby did, where they got rid of the old, they got
That sounds like catchphrase when you buzz in.
Right! Diddly diddly doo. Mr. Chips has gotten mad intense, like, But THX did a recent one, which was just a load of fucking like noises from a rainforest.
That's
fucking
on.
shite, like. like.
You want the...
I want to hear unnatural...
Yeah.
I want to hear unnatural noises that cause my bowels to literally, like, to quiver.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can do that with sound, you know?
I've heard about the brown sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, the poop sound.
Those kind of dark noises, and I kind of like to be taken to a dark place before I watch my movie in the cinema.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah.
I'm a fan of the goal.
That's Pearl and Dean, right?
Which is not really like a film.
What is it?
It's cinema advertising, I think.
We didn't have Pearl and Dean growing up.
Did you not?
No, we had Carlton, and Carlton would have a load of ale coals, and would go, and it would have, like, you know, the hot poker going into the coals, and it'd be like, you know, and it would really kind of get, and then it would go whirrsing, and it would Carlton, and it'd be all like. Now, I think they stopped doing that because if I think cinema and movies and hot pokers, I just think that the pirates are out to get me.
Yes, I love that. With the like devil man with the red eyes. Yeah.
He looks like a baddie from Resident Evil 6, like, you know, gonna get you. So, I mean, those would be some of my faves.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Metro Goldwyn May or what? Yeah, that's my favourite. Just a sad lion, just like.
How about DreamWorks?
What is the DreamWorks one? I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Little boy fishing. Get off that fucking moon, like.
Yeah, but no, like standout faves for me. I just, you know, they just pass me by.
I guess so. I mean, it'll never come close to. I mean, I used to live in Lincolnshire. There was a little cinema there called Kinema in the Woods. Beautiful.
It's pronounced cinema, mate.
Kinema, mate. It begins with a K. Okay, that's why I went there.
Cinema.
Kevin went to the Kinema. Okay, Seven goes to the cinema. Kevin goes to the Kinema. Okay, believe that.
Yeah.
And they tried to replicate it to be as much like the 1940s and 50s as possible, including having a little man on a piano coming out from underneath the...
Oh, piano man.
Yeah, a little piano, a little organ come out, a little man going... Boom, 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 boom,
that's cute.
Which is great, like, which I kind of much preferred to THX or anything like that, you know?
Yeah.
So, next time you're sitting there in your high-end cinema, and instead of having an old man on a little organ, you just got loads of chrome and sound effects, think what you're missing, yeah? The old ways are best. That's what I'm saying.
When you hit the beep, think of the fun you could be having on Supermarket Sweep, yeah?
Oh, best one. At the end of the cinema in Mullingar when I was a young kid. This is a cinema which closed down after Die Another Day came out. They couldn't make a go of it. They used to play the national anthem at the end. Yeah? I like that. Like,
that's amazing.
Like, don't you forget where you are, you know, don't for a second, like,
after
you know,
the film.
After the movie,
post-credits.
Sinn Féin Fall, which, for the record, is a war song. Like, you know, basically kind of going, don't forget them English.
Imagine going to see, like, the Avengers and waiting for that bit at the end and then just getting the national anthem.
Oh, I like it. Just feel like Samuel L. Jackson kind of going, I'm recruiting it. Just going, na, 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 over his voice as he's speaking. Like, yeah. So those would be some of the faves.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for the questions and comments to cinemaswirl@gmail.com.
That's cinemaswirl@gmail.com. Thanks, guys.
We did get a couple ones as well from people asking about Christmas movies.
Okay.
All I'll say is...
Probably not this year. Surely we won't do a Christmas special, Kevin.
Well, I was going to say you won't be disappointed, but you've kind of, you know... you've lowered everyone's expectations now.
Yeah, we're doing one.
Well, you've done it, Sam. You've
finally hit rock bottom.
You've ruined Christmas. 2016, just when you thought I couldn't get it. Christmas is ruined.
No.
Fucking hell. All right, time to talk about our movie of the day.
Yep.
Aliens.
Aliens.
What were your memories of Alien? I must say, Alien was one of my favourite episodes ever to record.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have said that Alien was a fun one to listen to as well. We
had a laugh. Highlights including Colin Cum.
I think it was Colin Cum.
Was it Colin Cum?
It was someone Cum.
I don't remember Colin Cum.
The character...
His name... That's not a real character. That's what I'm saying here.
I think the character's name was Ash, but there was a bit where he was covered in, like... It's just jizz everywhere on him, on his, like, detached head. I think we called him Colin Cum.
Yeah. So, do you know anything about Aliens?
No. I'm guessing it's a literal continuation of Alien.
Okay.
And in Alien, as far as I can remember, it's a commercial spaceship. They get a call from an alien. They go visit the alien.
Hello.
Alien here.
Prank calls from him, like, you know. What a dick.
They go to the planet.
They go look at some eggs. One of them jumps onto John Hurt. He's like, oh, I'm hurt.
Hey!
And then it falls off and he feels fine, and then it comes out of him and then it runs away, and then it grows up and it starts killing off the crew one by one by one.
And the cat was really distressed.
The cat was cute, very cute cat. Sigourney Weaver as Ripley, she's the one who survives. She gets in the bit, she flies away.
Googling pictures of Sigourney Weaver, in her outfit.
Just shut up. And and that's the end of the film. So
where could we go from there?
So she's gone back into like space sleep. Stasis?
Cryo sleep.
Yeah, with Jones the cat.
Yeah.
Where we last left off, she was going to sleep. The alien's been pushed out of the door, gone into space.
Where no one can hear him scream.
But no one can hear that. Yeah, he's gone. He's out of the picture. So I'm guessing in the sequel, Aliens, there are more than one alien.
The plural.
Yeah.
Now, I must say, I remember when I was young absolutely hating that this was called Aliens as opposed to Alien 2.
Why did you hate it?
Because it's like, you need more than an S.
Do you not like when sequels aren't called The Thing 2 or 3 or whatever?
You got to be like consistent, because there was obviously going to be another Aliens after this. And what do we call the third one? Give a guess. Alien 3.
Right.
So you got Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Like that, like, you know.
So you just want 1, 2, 3, 4.
If you're gonna do any numbers, then they all have to be numbers.
2 alien, 2 alien.
If I sent you a to-do list and it was like 1, do this, B, do this, Roman numerals 3, do this, you wouldn't even look at the fourth item.
No, I'd get too confused.
So what do you think's going to happen here? Just what, more aliens? More of the same?
Well, it can't be the same.
What do you think, like, Ridley's going to be like, can you believe this has happened to me again? There's going to be that kind of a situation?
Well, I know she's in it from the poster.
She's there, yeah.
She's in it. She's in the second one.
And you liked Sigourney Weaver, I think.
I did like Sigourney Weaver. I thought she was great in it. Yeah, she's a good hero. So she's going to be the only one who carries over into this film, because the rest of the crew all dead. Every character we meet dies, apart from Sigourney Weaver's character, as far as I can remember. Mm-hmm. Mother was the ship, wasn't it? Is that still a thing? Is the ship still going? Because the ship was the one that brought them to the alien planet.
That's true.
Evil ship.
Evil ship, possibly. I mean,
yeah.
One of the reasons I wanted to do sequel Swirl is because there's this grand idea or grand tradition of underwhelming sequels, or sequels that are shit.
Yes.
Or people are like, it's not as good as this one. Do you think, or have you heard about Aliens, if it's going to be like good or bad, or... Because, I mean, I think we talked before about Jaws. Like, Jaws has got loads of sequels and they're fucking
all
muck.
Shit. Yeah.
Have you heard anything about the Alien sequels?
No.
Do you know if this is directed by Ridley Scott, for instance, or...
No, I know that we talked about Prometheus on Alien episodes, and I know that was a prequel. I think you talked to me about that. I think that was Ridley Scott.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he came back for that.
So that would indicate to me that he's done all of them. I don't know if he has. Has he?
No.
No. Okay. So did he do Aliens?
This one I can't remember, actually.
Okay, we'll find out. So he doesn't do all of them.
Yeah, he doesn't do all of them. No, he definitely didn't do. So, I mean, do you think this is going to be good?
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be good for the same reasons, or...?
My understanding of Aliens was probably blurred into Alien when people were talking about it. Maybe people were talking about all of them. So I don't know anything specific about Aliens, what happens.
Because what were the main, like, what kind of movie would you say that Alien was? I mean, what were the main kind of,
we did it on Halloween.
We did, because it was a spooky movie.
Kind of a horror, but it didn't, I mean, it did feel like a horror, because you get people being picked off one by one. There is a creepy creature who's going around. You don't see it that much. It is scary. But it's also like a sci-fi film.
Sci-fi horror, I guess, is this.
Yeah, sci-fi horror is what I would say the first one was. Is this going to be like a Terminator 2 situation? Even though I haven't seen the first Terminator, you told me that Terminator 1 is not as good as Terminator 2 and that they're very different films.
I will say that these are very different films.
Okay.
Depending on who you ask, and honestly, the mood that you're in, you may think that Aliens is
better than Alien?
Some might think it better, some might think it's way worse.
I've not
but
heard
it's definitely different.
Right, I've not heard anyone being like, oh, Aliens is shit. That's a bad film. People, no one said anything bad about it.
No, but everyone was heaping praise on it, actually. Okay. So, I mean, the fact that it won the vote should probably tell you something.
Does that continue into Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, Alien vs. Predator? Alien vs Predator 2, maybe?
Alien vs Predator Requiem, mate. Get it right.
Jesus Christ, okay.
So are you excited to watch this?
Alien vs Predators.
Aliens versus Predators.
Yeah, I think I am, yeah. I want to see a continuation of the story, because I did like it. I remember liking it a lot.
Predictions about what's going to happen in the movie.
There's more aliens. but Ripley's in it, so I don't know whether she actually gets home, and... Because I don't know how long it...
What a terrible dream that she wakes up and then her husband is an aliens.
So in the first film, they were in like a commercial spaceship. They're carrying cargo, right?
Yes,
or
cargo ship,
like
yeah.
Yeah, they're a cargo ship. I don't know how long it takes to get from one planet or wherever they're going to another. Could take years.
Well, they have to go into stasis sleep, so it obviously takes a while.
Yeah, maybe months. So I don't know if she ever actually gets home. I thought maybe she gets home and then they find out the aliens are back and doing shit, and they go, well, Ripley's had...
throw her a shotgun.
She's had some interactions with us. Send her back up.
Let's go kick some ass.
But then surely she wouldn't want to do that. So maybe she's still in that little pod that she went in.
Oh, this is so exciting.
In the shuttle.
I literally can't say anything without spoiling this. I think I'm going to stake my considerably small reputation on this.
Yeah.
I think you're going to love this.
Yeah?
Personally speaking.
Okay.
That's my hot take on it.
I hope I do.
I think you're going to love this.
But it's a long one.
It's a long one.
Yeah.
It's a long one, but once again, don't necessarily have anywhere to go.
Yeah.
And you've not... How are your bowels?
Fine at the moment.
Have you done poo today?
Had a morning poop.
You had a morning poop?
Yep.
God, I had a shit like Jabba the Hutt this morning. It was fucking horrid.
How a shit like you were Jabba the Hutt?
No, as in the shit looked like Jabba the Hutt. Like, it was like kind of piled up like a pillowy mound of mashed potato. You know? I looked down and it threatened to put me in carbonite. Just... I tried to flush it and it wouldn't go away, and it's like, no, I like this small piece of shit where it is. It's my favourite decoration.
I haven't heard whether people liked us talking about poo on the last episode. I don't know whether that has been well received or not, but...
I'm not going to lie to you, Sam.
Yeah.
I was going to, regardless
you don't
of
care.
feedback,
yeah.
the world needed to know that.
Okay.
And on that bombshell, let's go do a cinema swirl.
Aliens, yeah.
And we are back. We've just come back from Aliens, which was a Z. Make sure we include the plural in there. Not Alien 2, Aliens. We're back from it. It was a roller coaster of emotions.
It was.
There were many yelps and whoops and hollers. Mm-hmm. Initial gut reaction to this movie.
Aliens.
It's good.
It's good.
You enjoyed the movie?
I enjoyed the movie.
It wasn't too long?
No. No, it wasn't.
Because this was a solid 2:35.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if this means we can finally dispel the Sam can't watch a movie longer than 2 hours myth.
Yeah, I think so. It didn't feel short, but it didn't feel like this is too long.
Didn't drag, right?
No, it didn't drag.
Did you notice what was this was different, obviously, than Alien? That's the kind of first thing I wanted to talk about, really.
Yeah, it's different. It's not like horror sci-fi. Yeah. It's like war horror. It's like shooty sci-fi.
Kind of more like...
gun sci-fi.
Yeah.
Bang sci-fi.
I was honestly, I didn't want to give away so much about this because, I mean, that's kind of the great secret of this is that, Alien 1 is a horror movie. Aliens is a fucking balls-to-the-wall action movie at times. And I didn't want to say, my best memories of watching this were, loads of friends come around. We get, beers and pizza. And, yeah, man, Aliens, fuck yeah. And because that obviously gives it away, hey, yeah, man, let's have some beers. Let's watch a quiet, brooding, melancholy sci-fi horror movie, man. Woo!
Yeah.
There are guns. There are explosions. There are aliens out the fucking wazoo.
Yep. Robots.
Yep. Lots of robots.
Yep.
And not only are there lots of aliens, there's lots of aliens being exploded and shot and going, and oh man.
There's goo, there's gunk.
There's glorp. There's all the good stuff. So you enjoyed Aliens, we can say.
Yeah, I had
right
fun.
off the bat.
Yeah.
Would you compare it to any other movies that we've watched, kind of? Like,
It has that Terminator 2 vibe, very much. That kind of like... It's not as straight up fun as Terminator 2, I don't think.
Terminator 2 is a little bit like more kind of...
It's got a bit of goofiness in it. This had some goofiness, but a lot of... It is still a serious, like...
I put it more closer to Predator, I guess.
Yeah,
in that
maybe.
You kind of... I mean, it's like Predator in the sense that you've got the macho commandos going up against something and, you know, shit going down.
Yeah, all these cocky jerks getting their comeuppance.
I
so many cocky jerks.
Love that so much.
Yeah.
Absolutely adore it. Well, I mean, we open in space where still no one can hear you scream.
Yep.
That is consistent. They kept that from the first movie. Mm-hmm. This is interesting now. Like James Cameron, this is two of his big budget, big action movies that you've been a big fan of.
Yeah.
I know that you were dragged to see Avatar, and you have seen...
No, I've seen bits of Avatar.
Sorry, bits of Avatar. Can you clarify that?
We talked about this in Alien. It was that I've seen... Because everyone went fucking apeshit about Avatar when it first came out.
I've still not seen it.
And have you not?
No.
So that was like the big 3D thing. Everyone went to the cinemas to go see Avatar. So I never went to go and see it in the cinema. When it came out on Blu-ray, my family bought it. I watched some of it. I got bored. So
yeah, my dad
wasn't for me.
got Avatar on DVD when it came out, and he turned to me, he was like, I don't think it'll have the 3D, but like watch it on the old tube TV. Like, I don't think it'll have the. I've not got the glasses.
I can't see them coming out at me. I don't know if the effect has worked.
I mean, would you call yourself a James Cameron fan after this? I mean, you've seen Titanic, right?
Yeah.
That's what we've often been asked about.
Yeah.
We have seen that.
Yeah. They're all good movies.
He knows how to make Hollywood, as everyone understands blockbuster. Yeah. That's what this man's all about. He loves his blockbusters.
He's a blockbuster machine.
He damn straight he is. But we're in space, and we're falling over directly from the first movie where you got Ridley. And I wrote down cryosleep and then cryostasis, but later...
Cryos!
For fuck's sake. But it's actually hypersleep.
Right.
Oh, that's a great term.
Yeah.
That sounds good right about
I could go for a hypersleep.
Yeah, I had to explain, the other day to Joe about, why we don't hibernate. We're not, designed to hibernate, but,
Be good, though, wouldn't it?
The idea of a hypersleep, I mean, Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys spent, a year or two in bed. I mean, that is a hypersleep, you could say.
Yeah.
I've always maintained that if you were said, at the start of your life, you've got 1 year that you get to spend in bed at any point, there'll be a lot less crime in the world.
Yeah.
I think we all need a hypersleep at one point in our life.
I'd say so.
At the start, as Ridley is being cut out of her shuttle, you laughed uncontrollably at this poor little projector robot lad that came in.
Okay, so we're on the same ship that we were on last time.
Yeah.
The shuttle from the... What's it called? The
Alien.
Pastrami ship, whatever it's called.
Nos Pastramus.
Yeah, and everything's covered in glitter, weirdly. I don't know why it's all glitter.
It's because it's all cold and ice.
Ice.
Because of space.
Ice. It looked glittery. The door gets, cut open, and then just this little projector wheels itself in where it flies in. It just looked funny. It just looked like a little dork.
I'm going to say because we've got Alexa, the Amazon Echo robot, in the house now.
Yeah.
And I have a funny feeling, judging from the way you reacted to certain artificial intelligence in this movie, that you don't value robots. You mock robots. You're a robot racist.
Humans are better, mate.
I'm just saying, right? Okay? Alexa's not perfect.
She's not.
She's not, okay?
No.
But she can tell a knock-knock joke like that.
Nah.
Like that.
So can I, mate. Ask me now.
Sam, can you tell a knock-knock joke?
Knock, knock.
Who is there?
Shit! No, damn it, guys. See, robots can have it like that. They've got them ready to go.
I think we would put Alexa on the stand-up circuit and see how she goes,
Just this little white cylinder.
Yeah, put it out there. Alexa, volume 10. Burn the house down. Go on, Alexa. So, the projector robot comes in and everyone is like, oh, there's a lady in here. There goes our salvage.
So are they just going on there to just get spare bits?
Yeah, they're salvage, which I guess is kind of intergalactic scrumping in that you get to go nick stuff.
We've had some intergalactic scrumpers in Star Wars, haven't we? It's like an established thing that people will just find bits and bobs in space and try and nick it.
And depending on which episode you're watching, it's either a grand old life or a terrible existence.
Yeah.
Depending on which way you look at it. Ridley is next scene in hospital, and she's in space hospital, been informed that it's the future, been asleep for 57 years.
Fuck me. That is a hyper sleep.
Whoa! Oh. You ever slept in 57 years?
Imagine how much sleep you'd have in your eye that you have to get out.
You have to get a new eye, like.
The breath on it.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Breath like a smacked arse. It'd be fucking awful. I mean, what's the longest you've ever slept for?
Oh, I don't know. Probably a solid, 12, 13.
You've never had, kind of a sleep where you woke up and, shit's gotta change,
No, I don't think so.
I had a friend who once woke up at 5 p.m. the following day.
But when did he go to bed?
She went to bed at, 1 or 2 in the morning the night previous.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
You know? It was at all...
That's a long-ass sleep.
It was, and it's just one of those kind of completely, woke up in the morning, and the first thing, instead of breakfast, it was right, time to fucking sort my life out, you know?
They see a cat and be like, oh, how are you, you stupid cat?
Why did they mock poor Jonesy?
Well, you were very upset about the cat mocking, but I think mocking of pets is one of the greatest reasons to have a pet.
Oh, really? Because you get very uppity if I ever mock your pet.
Yeah, well, because it's not yours, mate. Not yours to mock, yeah?
Oh, so when I mock your cat, what is secretly happening is that you're jealous I'm getting all these zingers and burns in on Miles the cat.
Yeah,
and you're like,
exactly.
Motherfucker, I could be slaying right now with this cat material.
But if you say rude things to an animal, but in a friendly way, it's a lot of fun. It's like, oh, you're a dickhead, come here.
It is funny to call
you're a fool, you've not got any thumbs.
It's funny to call a cat a smelly bollocks.
Yeah, exactly. You appreciate the fun of it. So I think that's what Ripley's going for.
I'm saying, Jones has been through a lot,
It's affectionate. Mates just call each other cunts all the time. It's just like a lol thing.
Oh, I should bear that in mind. I must get a cat just to mock it, I guess. Yeah. So, Jonesy is there, and Ripley has been told it's the future, and then an alien explodes out of her, and it was fucking horrible and visceral and big, bulging through the stomach.
Yeah.
The effects have improved since our last
They
installment.
have. We're into the 80s now.
Yeah. 1986 this was. Quite a later installment of it. But JK, she's not got alien tummy.
It was all a dream.
It was just a dream. She also finds out her daughter is 66 and dead.
Yeah, so this company man, Burke. From the company. Who has the best name for just an absolute wazzock.
Yeah, I mean, his working title name was Wazzock.
Mr. Wazzock, yeah.
But they went with Burke instead,
He breaks the news to her because she wants to know about her daughter, and he hands her this very, pixelated picture, which I don't get why it's so pixelated.
He got one of those naff Tesco tablets, just to keep the kids quiet,
So, yeah, but her daughter's dead. Future dead. Well, not future dead. Now,
Have you ever slept in so long that you woke up and a loved one was no longer alive?
No.
No, that's never happened?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
No.
Here's hoping,
This is a long movie, so...
So we go to a deposition, because essentially the company's a bit pissed off, the top brass.
Yeah, so this is the company. This is the commercial flight company, and they're, grilling her about what the fuck happened, even though it was, for them, 57 years ago that this all went down.
Chill the fuck out. It was 57 years ago.
I'm sure they probably moved on from it.
Yeah, get over it.
But they're really, drilling down into what happened.
I guess a lot of stuff was exploded, and a lot of people died, who probably will be dead anyway because of natural causes, but still, they were annoyed. They They're annoyed. They put 12 penalty points on her license, and they suspend it, so she can't be a pilot anymore. And then they're like, and you'll have to have a psychological review. And she's like, mother of God.
They're all like, we couldn't find this alien that you said you kicked out of the spaceship. It's like, yeah, I kicked it out of the spaceship, mate. It's gone.
And then they were like, yeah, we checked the planet, and there's no native animals there. And they're like,
it wasn't native.
It was an alien. Didn't you see the movie
Christ.
poster? Come on, lads. I love as well, right, how you literally have someone in this scene who was like, in this supposed alien that you talked about, we've never seen anything like this. We've looked at over 300 planets, and we've never seen it. Now, I like to point out for the record that Burke informed us that these were interstellar business people. Literally interstellar commerce.
Yeah.
Now, if interstellar commerce is in your job title, you owe it to yourself to at least be partially open-minded to there being aliens. You are interstellar.
After 300, you're like, oh, that's it.
That's like if you had a warlock in your title, and then you're like, I don't know, rabbits and hats? I don't know, man. You know? We find out that they actually terraformed the planet from the first movie where they found the alien's body and they found the spaceship.
So what's terraforming? Like making it into a habitable place?
Terraforming is when you add atmosphere to a planet, basically.
Okay.
So it's like kind of a long-standing sci-fi trope, which is you have these machines that can add atmosphere, which then causes rain,
Is that ever going to be scientifically possible?
As far as I know, it's something which is... Like, it's one of those things that they're obviously researching, but they can't publicly talk about it because it's a top secret thing, because people like NASA, and I imagine, are the ones who are doing that research.
But it's at least a maybe that could be a thing.
Yeah, it's like in the same way when Jesse Ventura found out in Jesse Ventura's Conspiracies that they are researching a weather machine. Because, that would be dead handy, wouldn't it?
But it's not like outlandish, super sci-fi, this could never happen. Like, it could happen.
It's something which I imagine that they'd be looking into.
Okay,
if,
cool.
Well, I mean, if 2016 is anything to go by, we've probably got 2 or 3 years left of this planet before we soak it all up and, spit it out and get a new one.
So there's a place on that planet called Hadley's Hope, I think?
Hadley's Hope, it's the name of the kind of colony there.
Right, which sounds like a sort of new build cul-de-sac that you'd have. It's a nice little name for it.
It sounds like a cul-de-sac from like a subpar daytime soap. Yeah. Like Crossroads, All the boys down at
Got nip on down to Hadley's Hope, see if everyone's alright.
In all my years in Hadley's Hope, I never thought I'd see... It's like Brookside, kind of, That's why I get the vibe.
Yeah.
I must say, with Hadley's Hope, there's something you really get in this movie. You got a little bit of it in the last one, but they really hammer it home here.
Yeah.
Which is like a shit, bleak vision of the future.
Oh, yeah, it's grotty.
Like, whoa, terraformed planet. It's like, it's just raining on this fucking mud rock that's full of shit.
It's dark, it's blue, it's grim.
It's horrid.
Really horrid. You wouldn't want to move there, would you?
I just love the idea of, like, it being the future and it being space and wow, gee whiz, but it's just like, it's shit.
Yeah,
like,
it's really, really shit.
Because, I mean, the only reason we ever want to go into space and find these other places to live is if we kind of run out of stuff, which is in itself not a particularly, hey, cool future,
Do we know what's happened to Earth on Alien? Is there still Earth?
Yeah, there is still Earth.
Okay.
There is still Earth.
Is that established?
That is established. You do see Earth, like, in a few shots. Like, early on, you see Earth overlapped with her head. So Earth does still exist. Yes.
Okay, and she's from Earth.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. There is a little boy on a trike riding around the corridors in some place in Hadley's Hope. It doesn't seem to hold any significance to anything else. It's like, you're not supposed to hit any rise around, and this was a few years after The Shining.
How do we know that it's a few years after The Shining? How were we able to get that information so quickly and concisely?
We asked a fucking white tube to see if she knew.
She has a name! Call her Alexa!
No, don't call her Alexa, because if people have an Alexa and we start saying Alexa, it'll start doing stuff like, Alexa, order a pizza.
I'm sorry, I can't help you with that, and many other things.
Alexa, stop this podcast. Okay.
All right, new tactic. Amazon sponsorship, because we've name dropped Alexa too many times at this point. Okay. But you thought it might have been a reference to Shining?
I think it was just a nice little nod.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was shot in a boy on a trike in a corridor.
With a stupid fucking haircut.
Stupid haircut. Grotty corridor going down. It's shot in a similar way. I thought that was just like, that's nice.
A little nod.
A little nod.
And we have this family survey team who have found the ship, and Ma and Pa go to investigate, and facehuggers eat Pa.
Are they, not scavengers, what am I saying?
Prospectors?
Like, salvage people?
No, these are colonists.
Right.
And essentially the idea is that you come and you colonize the planet, and then it's like, you can stake out your claims. Like much like the gold rush, or like when America was first forming, like people
This is my bit.
Yeah, it's my bit. I found it. It is mine.
Okay.
So they were going out there because it's like, well, there's something here, we've been told, so let's go claim it for our own. Yeah. Instead, they end up dying.
And the mummy and daddy have a couple of little kids. There's a girl one, and there's Timmy. And I'm sure we won't see anything from them again.
Other than their father's face being eaten by a facehugger. Which I will say, in this movie, you see lots more close-up shots of the facehuggers. They're a lot more animated. They scare the dog fuck out of me.
They're scarier than the big buggers.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
In their own way, because they're like, ugh. There's something... They managed to tap into the primal fear of a big scary insect crawling around a room.
I'm quite arachnophobic. The movement and the kind of just the general vibe is like very.
But it's not got a face of its own. Like that's really scary to me. I think. Yeah. It's got no discernible facial features.
That's why it wants your. It's like I want it. Just jump. Yeah, mine.
So the company i.e. Burke and some dink lieutenant come crawling back.
Yeah. I mean, Ripley closes the door on them. It's like, oh, Ripley, this is Lieutenant, and she just shuts the door. Solid gag.
Very
fun
good.
Visual gag. Nice. Love it.
But they basically said, look, we think aliens have killed off this entire colony. You're the only one we know who's seen an alien. You want to come for a bit of a road trip? And she's like, no, not going to do it. But then they're like, well, we'll give you your license back. You know, you can use that and do the big shop at the weekend.
You won't have to work a shit job anymore.
Yeah.
You'll have to work a slightly less shit job.
Yeah, you'll be, you know, driving things in space as opposed to a yard. So, you know.
Your daughter's dead, but...
we can't bring her back. I asked. I'm sorry. We just not got the budget for that.
Got a little contract here, though, that might be quite appealing.
So, the night terrors and night sweats have been keeping Ridley up all night. And at the start, she's like, no, there's no way in hell I'm going to have a butchers at your stupid planet. But I think it's the fact that I get the sense, particularly watching it this time, I was like, you know, so close to seeing the original Alien.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this was like, she might view it as being cathartic and helping her through it because she can't sleep and she's sweating far too much for anyone who should be, you know, in bed. So she decides to change her mind.
I think so. This Burke character,
Bit of a Burke.
Already very sleazy. Like he's calling a kiddo, which I don't like that.
No.
He's giving her a card. The card's fucking see-through. I'm like, this guy's a jerk.
Guy clearly doesn't know his stuff.
He's a wazzock, yeah.
Notice that she called the cat a shithead as well at this point.
Yeah, and we get another future Skype call. We've had a few of those in Cinema Swirl. That's like a future technology that actually came true.
Isn't it weird, like, that it's all done on our computers and stuff still? Like, we've not got, like, a home Skype phone. That's not a thing where it's like, you know, hits the future, let's sit down and just use the home Skype machine to video call someone. Why is that?
I don't know. We've packed everything into little devices. We've got everything on there. Like cameras and phones.
Maybe I want to check my tweets when I'm ringing home, like, you know, that's kind of what they're going for here.
Yeah. I mean, Burke's even, like, looking slightly off camera. It does look, like, convincingly like Skype does now.
Yeah.
Like, he's got no shirt on for some reason.
He accidentally sends her a few spam links. He thinks his account was hacked. Seriously, fucking hell.
Yeah.
So we cut to space, where the military are now going off on their expedition to go and save the colonists.
Yeah.
All the boys and girls defrost.
Yes, and we see a little list of their names, and we have Spunkmeyer in there, which is my favourite of all the names.
I like that there was a guy named, like, Frost in there.
There's a guy called Hypersleep in there as well, which is apt, really.
There was one character I absolutely love so much, which is Vasquez. Vasquez, she's fucking awesome.
Is that how you pronounce it? Because I
assume it was Vasquez.
Yeah, or Vasquez.
Vasquez?
I don't know. I don't want to... Well, anyway, we'll probably get it slightly wrong, but you know who we mean.
Big V.
Yeah.
Big V, she does sick burns on everyone.
Yeah.
Because she's cool. And you can always tell who means business in these movies, depending on who's wearing a bandana. And Big V's got a bandana, and it's
got a big
sick.
bandana.
She's got a big bandana and an even bigger attitude.
Calling Ripley Snow White, because she's like not one of the proper like army ones. She's just a normal
regular
girl.
One.
Yeah.
You know? Didn't have green sleeping clothes.
No.
Had grey like Snow White would. Lots and lots and lots of poontang talk.
Bunch of fucking lads, aren't they?
Way!
Talking tang.
You know, talking tang. You know, it's the first thing you got to do when you wake up from your hypersleep. Have a chat about tang.
Yeah.
And stealing colonists' virginities.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, we're the worst people on Earth. Oh, for fuck's sake, like, you know?
Yeah, they're a bunch of pillocks, aren't they? A bunch of Burks.
Did you get worried that it was going to be like, here come the army? Like, did you see what was going to happen?
I felt like immediately seeing all these people be kind of jerks and like just wankered lads, that a lot of them would die and you wouldn't feel completely terrible about it because they're kind of wazzocks. I got that feeling from how cocky and arsey they were very early on. You're like,
they weren't making out that these guys were cool in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, they don't have like a nice
this.
backstory about their family and shit. They're just like, these are some jerks.
It's like, oh, great. Fucking jocks in space. Ugh.
And they start doing the stabby hand game.
5-finger fillet.
Fucking hate that.
Oh,
really hate it.
Bishop does it. He's like, oh, brrr, Lance Henriksen.
He's really good at it, isn't he?
Very good.
He does it so fast.
It's so fast, it makes the guy go, brrr, which is always a good sign that someone's having a good time.
But then you see a bit of cum coming out of his hands.
Yeah, and you could tell because you screamed, he's got cum, as soon as it happened. So he is a synth. Do you once again, sorry not to keep...
Is this me not respecting robot rights?
But you were straight away, you're like, oh, he's a baddie.
I thought he'd be a baddie. Because the last synth we met...
Not all synths.
That's my synth noise. Not really good synth noise. Not all synths. Yeah, I just assumed because Ash was such a bad bastard that any synths have got like an ulterior motive. They can be programmed to do shit.
Mate, you just watched Westworld.
I've just watched Westworld.
You know, they come on now. They're not that bad, yeah?
No.
Not only is Sam Chaplin a synth racist, but also Ridley is a synth racist because she's like, I don't trust him. Right?
Rightly so.
What, because Lance Henriksen has an intrinsically untrustworthy face?
She's had a bad experience with the synth in the past.
He does look very untrustworthy.
He does. He looks like a fucking creep.
That brow, them big crazy eyebrows.
I can see why he got cast as fucking robot.
All the Marines are overconfident and they're all like, we got this.
Yeah.
They had a very strange way of kind of getting themselves riled up and getting ready to get set off. The sergeant says, you know the drill. Assholes and elbows.
Well, you didn't have that growing up, did you? The whole, like, assholes, elbows, knees and toes. That was not part of your thing.
That wasn't, no.
But over in England, that's like a whole thing.
You put your asshole in, you put your asshole out, in, out, shake it all about. Assholes and elbows and you turn around. That's what it's all about. Hey. Yeah, I've sat and I've thought about it.
Can't work out what it means.
Elbows, like elbow grease.
Yeah. Assholes.
Assholes are like, when it comes to getting ready and prepared and chores, assholes don't factor into it.
They're quite low down the bottom of the list of what you
pretty much
get. Yeah.
Like, they're up there with the spleen, like.
Yeah.
Ripley rides the cool loader, which was the big mech suit.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you did lean over and be like, do you know about that? I was like, no.
Because that's like quite an iconic,
Iconic, man. I've never seen it.
Never seen
that thing.
It was one of like the first instances in cinema where you got to see like kind of big, like someone in a mech suit that looks like an exoskeleton. Yeah. It's done to death now, even to the point where like an Avatar, everyone had them.
Well, I think like
stuff.
A lot of computer games and stuff really like that kind of idea that
you can see how influential, like...
I'm sure some of like Warhammer 40,000
Yeah, you're right, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's probably...
It's really good.
Not the start of it, but probably one of the earliest examples.
I definitely popularised it, I think, big time.
Looks fucking cool, though.
It's so awesome. I love as well that it's not like a big CG thing. It's like, it's a physical thing. You can see it moving around.
And I think that early on gets Ripley on side with some of these army dudes who are a bit like...
She knows herself.
She was doing her report and they were like, oh, we'll just get it on disc. But like now they're like, oh, she can do that thing and she's quite cool. We like Ripley.
She's one of the gang.
Not all of them are won over, but some of them. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They're all very, very excited for their big day.
Yeah, a bunch of army pals getting ready for their army day.
And they're loading up all their guns, making sure they've got ammo in all of them. Double check, lads, just in case.
You got your assholes, got your elbows, it's fine. Okay.
Have you got a snack? Have you done a poo? All that stuff.
Had a last wee.
And they head off, and it's... funny when they're in here, the lieutenant was all like, all hard ass and stuff like that. When they're actually coming down onto the planet and he gets all nervous and like, how many drops you done? He's like, 38. Simulated.
Yeah, he's not very experienced.
Not real
that
drops.
lad, isn't he?
Yeah.
No.
He's only done 2 drops, including this one. He is a drop novice. He's not even proper army, mate.
No.
Oh, yes, there was one moment in this. It's the only moment in the movie. And honestly, we very rarely get these where it's something that has aged terribly.
We expect to see them quite a lot. In the preambles.
Come on, yeah.
This is going to have aged terribly. There's going to be some proper shit. And then usually there's not. But it's not even a shit effect. It's just the bit of the spaceship flying through the sky.
That was one naff effect.
Looks a bit naff.
Yeah.
Which is fine for the time and understandable. But, to my modern eyes... I spy with my modern eyes.
Something beginning with N,
yeah,
for
and
naff.
It's naff.
When they're in their ship, one of the Marines is getting particularly annoying. He claims that I am the ultimate badass. And then he goes over to Ripley and says, me and my squad of ultimate badasses will protect you.
So hold on, is he the ultimate badass or is his squad the ultimate badass?
Now, this guy seems like he might be a penultimate badass as opposed to the real deal.
At best. Honest,
I mean, you can't all be the ultimate badass, guys.
Yeah, he's just showing off all these big bloody guns and weapons and shit that they have. They've come prepared.
They're very cocky in themselves.
Yeah.
So much so that the pilot is wearing sunglasses on this perennially overcast planet.
Very much unnecessary. Yeah.
It's the same reason you don't wear sunglasses in Scunthorpe. The sun never comes out and there's too many clouds.
Yeah.
Stop it, you're embarrassing yourself.
Exactly.
They land and wander about a little bit on this horrible, desolate plain. Ripley, she gives some verbal feedback to the guys as they're doing a bit of a search around.
Yeah, so she's like in the van in the back, isn't she? Is she in the...
She's in kind of she's back in the vehicle, like safe away, and she's kind of giving them, pointers about what they're seeing. Like, they see loads of acid burns and things like that.
Holes in the ground.
It does a really good job at making you start to, like, see the guys right over their head. Like, the little kind of glimpses of, like, something's not right here.
Yeah.
Like, you start to see the chinks in the armor kind of straight away.
I do like the little motion detectors as a sort of story device, or like a tension device. The little...
Yeah, the little bleeps. Yeah, they did that in Simpsons, when the Greyhound is in the ventilation system.
I really like that as a thing. It's scary. It's like a nice mechanic that you get to look at and be like, oh, there's stuff coming. Where is it?
And even though the effects are much better, they still do a great job at pulling back on the aliens. You don't see them all the time. There's a few shots where you see lots of them, and it's like, whoa! But like they still play that Jaws rule, which is, less is more.
Yeah, very sparing.
Yeah, if you see like a little glimpse of one, that's way scarier than seeing loads and loads of them.
Yeah.
Ridley goes in and she finds inside a lab there's loads of face huggers in test tubes. And one of them was alive and scared both Burke and Sam at the same time.
I hold my hands up to that. I was legit like... The music got quiet and it was very tense, and Burke was going right up to the glass, and I was like, I know it's going to happen, and you can't help it.
Would you say, scared in this movie at points? Because it seemed like you were.
Yeah.
Is it scary?
It is scary. Yeah. It is a scary movie.
As scary as Alien? Because people make the argument that because this is balls to the wall, it's not scary.
Yeah, it might not be quite as freaky as I remember Alien being.
It's more like adrenaline pumping and heart pounding, I guess, though.
There was only there were quite a few like jumpy moments. Yeah. But there were I think there were quite a few more of those in Alien, as far as I can remember. Yeah. I don't know.
It kind of seemed like, I don't know, I think that they're still doing a great job making this. Like, I think people...
It is scary.
It is a lot scarier than people give it credit for. So, as they're going around, Ridley finds a girl who bites them. And her name is Rebecca. Scratch that, her name is Newt.
Yeah, Newt Gingrich shows up. Having a great time. She's living in a little trash den.
It's one of these like tropes that's in all these like movies at the time, which is either have cute little kid or a wacky sidekick or something like that. Yeah. I remember Newt annoying the piss out of me when I was younger.
And how did you feel about it this time around?
I was warmed a bit more. Yeah. I think Newt actually served a bit of a purpose. I was able to see the parallels, I guess, this time. Because I've not seen this movie since I was like 19 or 20.
Yeah.
And a lot of what I noticed with Newt this time was... I felt like there was a bit of a understory with her being like almost like a surrogate daughter for Ripley.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you can tell through her relationship with Newt how much she misses her daughter and how much she's missed on that whole part of her life.
It's great. It's how you can tell that story about her being like, oh, I miss my daughter. Where? We
don't get any of that from Ripley verbalized in any way. We just see it shown through her interaction.
I love how like introverted Ripley is. She kind of like, you can tell that she's been traumatized by something, but she's not like ever talks about it or opens up to anyone. You just kind of see her act out through other people, I guess. Where are your parents? They're dead!
Alright, leave me alone.
So, Bishop is dissecting a face hugger, which was fucking disgusting.
It is very gross.
All layers and pointy bits.
I mean, that's a good effect thing. It just looks like a real fleshy fucking mess, doesn't it?
Horrible.
Gross. I'm glad the robot's doing it.
So they're looking around the scanners because there's like there's ways to track all the colonists. And they're like, oh, look, all the colonists are in this one place behind the cooling tower. Yeah. That's handy. Off we go.
Let's go down there. Yeah.
One of them like, maybe they're having a town hall meeting. Yes. Maybe they are. They're going in and it's all alien-y.
Yeah, it's all like drippy and like alien shaped.
And they're playing off
organic looking.
Yeah, it's like, when termites or ants and shit, like they build stuff. It's like, oh Jesus, that's just fucking...
It's creepy.
I like when I see like the structures that ants and wasps and insects make, there's always a part of me that's like, whoa! And then there's a part of me that's like, oh,
it's unsettling, isn't
it? It is. It's unsettling. I don't like I don't like these animals, these creatures, and like these aliens, like them being able to build shit is just like, oh no, man.
Yeah.
That's fucked
Yucky.
up.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all.
It's similar enough to what we do that it's like unsettling.
Yes.
And it's different enough that it's like creepy and weird.
It's so
like,
creepy. Like.
Yeah.
And they find out literally just before they go in, oh, by the way, you can't use your guns, lads.
Yeah, so it's good that they brought Ripley along as a fucking advisor, because she's like, oh, by the way, don't shoot down there, because you'll blow everything up. You fucking idiot. And he's like, and the dorky, like, is he commander?
He's a lieutenant.
Lieutenant is like, oh shit, yeah, don't shoot at them.
They're going through there, and, the colonists, they're all oopified, was the word that I used to describe them here.
Yeah, they're all gooped up.
It's fucking gross. So what they basically have happened is that they need to be kept alive so the facehuggers can implant them with the chest bursters, and it's fucking horrible. One of them's alive, and all she screams is "kill me" over and over again. The alien bursts out of them, and they set it on fire, and it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The noise that those aliens make, just even though they're meeps and moops, they're so scary. I fucking hate them.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yucky.
Stealthy aliens kill the flamer, and fucking hell, they get ambushed. Loads of aliens come from all corners.
Yeah, it all fucking kicks off here. You know, people are getting shot. Like aliens are grabbing people. Flames are going everywhere. Someone's on fire, I think.
But what I love about this is that they pull the old switcheroo on you, because there's loads of people who you expect are going to be like big badass characters, and they all die in this scene. Like the sergeant, who's the guy chomping a cigar, he's such a fucking predator character, and he just gets killed, boom, straight away. I fucking love this scene.
There's some other muscle lad who gets killed. Like a load of people just like get off in this scene.
There's no like kind of, oh no, we might be in over our heads. It's like boom, red wedding straight away, like from the fucking offset. They all get fucking killed. I love it. And Ripley is like, we gotta go do something because the lieutenant is useless. So she smashes the space car into the room and evacuates the remaining survivors.
Yep.
Awesome. I love what a fucking hands-on badass Ripley is in this movie. Like Ripley, I must say, because I'm such a fucking Arnie nut, I'm always like, yeah man, Arnie. But Ripley's one of my goddamn favourite action stars. Like, I just love Sigourney Weaver so fucking much. Such a goddamn badass.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very ballsy solution, to use a terrible word. Like, these men don't really want to do anything when shit's going down. It's like, right, I'll just drive there. I'll just go into it. I'll just literally crash into the scene.
Don't do it. I've not decided on anything yet. Yeah. Fuck it, we're doing it.
We're making a decision. It's happening.
I love as well, like, how they play off the difficulties with killing the aliens, because like Vasquez has been a badass and she like explodes an alien, but she kills one of her teammates.
With the acid.
But with the acid from doing it.
You always forget about the acid.
Some people think that like the aliens are less impactful in this because so many of them get killed and exploded and stuff. But I mean, like, the reality is that these guys do have big giant guns, and when they shoot them, they're gonna fucking die, obviously.
I mean, they are there with all the necessary bits and bobs to fucking kill aliens.
Like, what I think is scarier about them is the fact that, even with killing them, it doesn't make any difference because there's so many more of them.
Yeah.
And they're like, they will get you. And even in death, with their acid
they
blood
will hurt you.
They're fucking dangerous as shit. So, we got a shotgun in an alien's mouth, which is one of those badass... That sums up what this movie is. Like,
this movie is a shotgun in an alien's mouth.
Exactly. Like, because in Alien 1, you got like her going, oh no, an alien. This one's just like a shotgun in its mouth, like, you know, it's like a fanfic, and then they blow up the alien with a shotgun.
I think a lot of the times when I laughed in this film was the aliens being blown to bits. But I think it just looks funny, like a balloon popping. Like,
it's really satisfying.
Yeah.
Like when they're driving away and they run over one of the aliens.
It gets all squished.
Oh, it crunches with such... It's like a fucking like biting into like a big crunchy taco or something. Like, yeah. Fuck yeah, man.
Is it bad that I feel like that happy about it? I don't know.
Well,
they are baddies. Yeah.
I mean, if you felt this bad about the way you treated robots.
Nah, I don't give a shit about robots, mate. No.
So Ripley wants to nuke the planet. She's like, look, let's just pop up into space, nuke the planet. And Burke is like, well, actually, we've had a significant amount of investment in here. So I'm not going to okay that, guys.
Yeah, he's such a little Jobsworth company man.
I love that he's wearing his little like team building exercise corporate retreat outfit with his body warmer and his flannel shirt. Yeah. Okay, guys, today is about fun and not nuking the planet, okay? Can we think of any creative ways we might be able to work together as a team and identify our strengths and then kill the aliens?
Yeah. Newt does her first cute hand gesture at one point. So, are you okay? And she does a little thumbs up.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on Newt? Was Newt a pain in the ass? Cool kid? Cute character? What do you think?
Cute character. Fine. Like a little bit. I don't know.
Danny, will you get up in the corner? You know?
A little bit like that, but she's like surprisingly robust in the face of some serious adversity.
Yeah, she sees some shit, this kid.
Yeah, and she's still doing all right. So fair play to Newt here.
Yeah, Newt's
I can't slag
badass.
off Newt, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that they call the guys up in the ship up in space, and the pilot goes, "Move it, Spunkmeyer," which is really funny. Because as soon as he says that, he goes, "What's that?" And there's a big translucent gloop comes down.
Spunkmeyer is just touching all this spunk everywhere.
Fucking living up to his namesake is Spunkmeyer. So the alien kills the evacuation team, and then we get what is another incredibly famous scene and line in this, which I'm surprised you hadn't heard of, which is, game over, man. Had you heard that one before?
No.
That's, people go nuts about that line.
Yeah.
Like, it's been referenced in a quadrillion things.
I honestly think in all the hubbub and all the, the alien being on the ship and it exploding and stuff, I just, missed that. I don't think I even saw it. I don't think I heard it.
I'll be honest, I think people big up the line, because I thought, there's this big speech saying, "Game over, man, we're finished." He literally just says, "That's it, man, game over. Game over, man." Like, that's kind of it,
I think we've come across this phenomenon before with Arnie films and stuff, where, a quote isn't that much of a big deal in the movie, but it becomes it through people just saying
its
it.
own thing,
and then, through Chinese whispers, it becomes more and more exaggerated, and, "Get to the chopper." And it's not actually like that.
Yeah, because in Predator, it was like, lads,
choppers over there, mate.
There it is. All right, no, the Uber's come. Do you want to get to it? Go on over there. Flag him down. Wave. He'll know it.
I think this might be like that. Yeah.
There's another more famous quote, I would say, that comes after it, which is, "They mostly come at night." Mostly.
Yeah, no, I that was a good one.
You had heard that one before then?
No. I would like the idea of creepy crawlies coming out at night is
mostly.
Is Newt kind of Englishy?
It's funny.
He's got a weird accent.
Anytime they try to make Newt creepy, she puts on this English accent. Other times she's like, "Hey guys, are you?" But it's like, "Oh no, there are aliens coming here. They're very dangerous indeed. It would be terribly unfortuitous if we perished."
Yeah.
Hudson's all stressed out, game being over and whatnot, and then he gets the helpful advice: deal with it.
Yeah, Hudson's the one freaking out a lot, isn't he?
He is. He's very, very panicky. It's
negative Nancy.
Their plan is to set up some sentry guns, barricade themselves in, and hopefully they can find a way off the planet.
Yeah.
So Newt needs to go and have a bit of a nap because they're all stressed out and whatnot. You pointed out at this point, by the way, that Hicks, the corporal who's now in charge by default, he looks quite a lot like WWE wrestler The Miz.
He does, yeah.
He does, in that kind of ruggedly handsome but still somehow ugly type of way.
Yeah,
very impressive.
He's got that going on. He's got an intercontinental champion kind of look about him.
He's got a Hollywood, but I hate you for it kind of look going on.
Yeah, exactly.
There. I like that.
It's nice.
So Newt has to have a little bit of a sleepy sleep, a little bit of a nap, and Ripley's like, "Yo, just don't have dreams, dog. That bullshit, come on." She doesn't fall for that.
Although Newt really is she's not helping out here, because Ripley's like, "Oh, what about your little, doll? There's no dreams in there. Try and be like her." And she's like, "Just a fucking piece of plastic, mate." I'm like, "Come on, Newt, play the game, yeah? Don't..."
"Oh, it's just a piece of plastic. You won't mind then if I just, throw it away forever?"
Yeah, why'd you keep holding on to it then, Newt? Yeah?
It's a crutch, Newt. Get over it.
Those sentry things are cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
I like them.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They're nice.
I love them. Bishop and Ripley chat eggs. Who's laying these eggs, they're asking? Might be some sort of ant-type situation.
These things ain't ants.
These things ain't ants, but maybe there's some sort of, queen or whatnot, They're like, "No way, don't be silly. What are you talking about?" Ripley has had enough of Burke's stuff, because she's basically figured out that Burke is, working against him at this point for them to, kill the aliens and get off the planet and all that.
Yeah.
So she basically calls Burke a Burke.
Yeah.
I would have called him a spiv.
Is this the point where, Spanner, the goon? Yeah, he's saying now, if we take some of these aliens home, we'll make shitloads of cash on these because they're worth lots of money for research, right?
He didn't, watch King Kong.
No.
You've not seen King Kong, have you?
I've seen the fucking remake.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, with Andy Serkis.
Never mind.
Seen that one.
Never mind.
But no, he's not learned that lesson.
You'd be better qualified for this job.
I don't know if King Kong is canon in the Alien universe.
Maybe not, This is basically a horrible dystopian future.
What films do they watch,
Yeah, where, product design is taking a back seat to technology advancing, and also King Kong's not been made. So people are like, let's take back the dangerous thing to society.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. Find out that the plant is going to blow up because there's a problem with the reactor. So there's a time limit. And who's gonna save the day and go and manually set up the fucking satellite to contact the spaceship and fly it down solo? But good old Bishop. Good old synthetic Bishop. I thank the maker that we had a good old synthetic man there to help us out.
He does volunteer to help, and that's very nice. He says that he may be synthetic, but he's not stupid. Another little quote that I liked that I wrote down was "Stay frosty" at one point.
Yeah, that's a Marines saying.
Is it really? Frosty. Yeah. So that's an established thing. That's not like arse and what is it? Arseholes and elbows.
Arseholes and elbows could be a Marines thing. If you are a Marine, do tweet in at Cinema
Swirl. Let us know what that means, please.
But stay frosty, I've heard that before in like army and stuff, which basically means keep on your toes, be on the lookout.
Frosty.
Yeah, say frosty.
Like yeah.
It's a fucking awesome phrase. Like Ripley learns how to gun it up. And I love that, because Ripley was kind of missing out on all the gun fun, and now she gets to have some gun fun too. I'm all up with Ripley having a big gun. Newt sleeps underneath the bed, and...
Well, yeah, no, Ripley comes in and, there's no Newt. And I thought that was setting up a whole, angle going forward, that they'd be trying to find Newt and something.
Where is Newt?
But it's just under the bed.
Under the bed. Have you ever slept in weird places like that?
No, not really. I don't think. There's been times where you go into a wardrobe or something and see if you can go in there.
I mean, we did talk about obviously Alien in our last episode where
you did a piss,
did a wee in the wardrobe. But no, I remember once I went through a phase of thinking it would just be I got real sick of my bed. I must have been 9 or 10. I was I'm fucking sick of this bed. And for one random reason, one night I decided to get out, and I just slipped out and I slept beside my bed. Yeah. I couldn't tell you why I did. I just literally stepped there and I was all snuggled up.
I think that's the thing you do as a kid. Like sometimes you'd go the other way. You'd be what if I sleep this way around? No.
Well, the problem with that, though, is that the way I slept, I was turning around a lot in my sleep, and I was face down right beside a bookcase, and my dad opened the door to wake me up. It was Saturday morning, and he saw me on the ground, head flat down.
Something had gone horribly wrong.
And he saw because I'd slid out of the bed, so all the covers had fallen out. And my dad just woke me up by grabbing my neck because he thought I'd broken it. And he's like, and I had to explain, look, Dad, okay,
stay frosty, yeah,
Dad,
fine.
Could you stay frosty for a moment? I just decided I didn't want to sleep in my bed tonight, okay? Because I'm a rebel like that sometimes. But it's really nice. Ripley goes underneath the bed and sees in there.
Sort of having not a little cuddle, but a little get together and
a little kind of
nice.
We'll be safe together.
Yes, it's quite mother and daughterly.
Yeah, and then we have a fucking terrifying facehugger attack. Oh god, I hate this bit. Yeah. So the two of them are trapped in the room. It's soundproof. Burke turns off the fucking security cameras and
I think there's 2 of the head crab things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she knocks one away, comes so close to getting her, and then you can hear it scuttling around. It's it's so fucking terrifying.
And Burke's a fucking prick.
Burke's more like
Burke the jerk.
Yeah. Am I right?
Yeah.
Just so you know, we didn't just think of that. We both knew that ages ago. Don't think, Cinema Swirl took him an hour to call Burke a jerk. We knew that, okay? Yeah. We were saving it.
Had that ready to go.
Okay? Back pocket. You don't fire all guns blazing straight away, okay? We've been at this a long time. We know what we're doing.
Yeah, don't tell them that earlier. You're Alexa, what rhymes with Burke?
I'm sorry. I can't make your content any better. So the facehuggers are running amok, and when the guys come to save him, I fucking love this bit.
They shoot the fuck out of one of them.
Oh god, they literally throw it over there. It's okay. Oh man,
and it just falls to bits. It's great.
I love seeing it shredded up to pieces.
I think that would be what it would feel like to shoot a full rotisserie chicken.
Is that something you want to do?
I kind of do now.
Yeah.
Do you think that would be satisfying if you just pointed a machine gun at a big fuck off cooked chicken?
I'll be very, very honest.
Yeah.
In this household right here,
you're gonna eat it instead.
There's literally a weekly tradition. I roast the fuck out of a chicken pretty much once a week. And I love it. It's our special treat.
Okay, you've got a connection with the chicken. Never mind.
It's like if I was hey Sam, wouldn't it be fun to shoot up a load of Pepsi Max?
Yeah.
And you might think, what, hooking it to our veins? No, I was to get a gun and shoot it up like that. You probably would have a similar.
Well, if any American listeners have some guns and want to shoot some chicken and show me what it's like,
or if you ever have shot a chicken, a cooked chicken, don't go fucking getting us in trouble with death for now, going out and fucking shooting a fucking bird.
No, not into that.
No, it's a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
It was never alive cooked. As far as we're concerned. It was born on the spit. Okay?
Cinemaswirl@gmail.com.
So they're about to go jerk up Burke, but the power goes. And the aliens, like the crafty buggers they are hiding in the suspended ceiling. And there's fucking loads of them. That's why I don't trust suspended ceilings.
No, don't like it.
There was a suspended ceiling in my school, in my like corridor when I was in boarding school. And one year, someone thought, as a funny prank, wouldn't it be great if everyone pissed into a bucket and held it, and we couldn't let the deans and the housemasters know, so we'll put it up here, away in the suspended ceiling. And they forgot about it, and 2 years later, someone, unfortunately, found a 2-year-old bucket of piss that fell through a suspended ceiling. Well, what was it like in boarding school, Kevin? Are you happy? You happy?
Piss coming out of the ceiling.
Fucking piss coming out of not even a real ceiling, a suspended ceiling. Fucking hell. Bullshit.
Yeah.
So there's loads of aliens come at the moment, and this elicited quite the big IE from you.
From both me and the aliens. They make little noises as well.
They show a little, like, just a shot, like, of up in
the
ceiling,
the guy,
and there's loads of them.
Having a little peek, and you see the little flash of all... and
they make a big weep.
Yeah, horrible.
They come from everywhere, from underneath the floor, where they actually grab and kill Hudson. They pull him underneath. Burke locks them out of the fucking room, and then gets killed.
Yeah.
Good.
Burke finally gets murked, so I'm happy with that.
I must say, I was hoping you'd have a more ironic death, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like an alien, like, sets him on fire in a big pile of money or something like that. Like,
or like he gets all the way back with his little alien in his little tub, and he's like, hey, look at this, and then it eats his face.
I'm just saying, when you're that big of a dick... and there's no symbolism in your death, you're missing a trick.
You've got away with it there, really.
Yeah, you gotta have a bit of symbolism in your death, like, you know? Oh, remember how he died? That'll learn him. You know, that's what you want to have with a villain like that. We get a chase in the vents as they're trying to escape the aliens. It's so fucking tense.
Yeah.
Vasquez and the lieutenant, they're, like, cornered. Vasquez is so fucking cool here. She's, like, shooting off, like, the remaining guys. She's got, like, one little handgun. She kills one that collapses on top of her.
Shooting the shit out of some aliens.
And they have the big bomb, and it's kaboom, and fire goes everywhere.
It's kind of cute in a way that they do this little, you know, sacrificing themselves thing.
I thought the lieutenant acquitted himself quite well.
Yeah, he made up for his shortcomings.
He did.
Yeah.
He unburked himself in that case, you know?
Yeah.
Newt falls down a hole as they're trying to escape.
I think this might have been the point where I was, like, a bit brassed off with with the Newt.
Explain.
When she's like, I mean, her brother was called Timmy, but she's literally like the Timmy has fallen down the well kind of stuff.
That's true. She falls down and they go, stay where you are, Newt. And she literally goes,
I'm fine.
She's fine.
But again, she's a tiny child and she's put up with a lot of shit. So
when the kid is down there in like the sewers and that alien comes up from underneath the water, you get a full proper like, majestic monster.
It freaks me out more thinking like, has that alien been in there the whole time and is just now like it's been looking at
lying in wait. That's what's cool about it is that you don't know where they're coming from. Like, are they tracking them the whole time, or are they just everywhere? They think there's around 100 of them, but there seems to be so many more. And like, what's really scary is that they really like they put over how smart they are. You know, like they turn off the power, the aliens.
Yeah,
and like they treat them like they're wild animals, and that's why they all like
clever fucking things. Yeah,
they refer to it at the start as a bug hunt. Lads.
No, not bugs.
Lads, bugs aren't going to turn off the lights, okay? No. Not like an alien will.
Ripley thinks Newt's gone.
Yeah.
She's done for. We don't really see how Newt gets out of this kind of pickle. She kind of gets all gooped, but not like
I think what basically happens is that they come in and they're shooting at the aliens and you kind of just, you know, focus on the aliens and Ripley and Hicks. Like, Hicks gets acided. So Ripley's kind of like on her own some now. So Ripley decides to get a big gun, get the big fire gun.
Yeah.
She's tracking Newt on her Pebble watch.
Yeah,
which has got the built-in feature.
She clipped on this little like harness thing, and I thought, right, she's getting the fucking yellow lifty robot. This is going to be awesome.
Did you expect that from as soon as you saw that? Did you?
Yeah, like, I remember her putting on the same like little clippy harness thing before, and I thought that's what it was going to be. And then it doesn't. It's just got a big fucking flamethrower, which is equally as cool. I think. Yeah. Newt
gets cocooned, and she's about to get the facehugger attached to her, but thankfully Ripley kills the egg. I love seeing the egg being destroyed. Was brilliant.
shooting an egg to bits. Again, any listeners want to shoot some eggs?
Duke Nukem 3D. One of the most satisfying things about that was that like they literally had the eggs from aliens in it,
and you could just shoot them.
You could shoot them. You could also kick them, and they would explode and go. And it was really satisfying. Yeah. Okay. Really satisfying. So Ripley kills that egg, but then we look around and see there's loads of eggs.
Yeah, and why would there be loads of eggs?
Why would there be loads of eggs? And then you see a weird kind of sucker dropping the eggs out. And I'll read out what I wrote down here.
Okay.
Ew, gross. That's a fucking queen. Ew, yuck, no, gross. Get it the fuck away. Ew, ew, ew. Kill it with fire.
Yeah.
It is fucking disgusting. It's particularly disgusting for me as well as an Irishman, knowing that this is where all English people and Protestants come from.
Yeah.
Is you're laid by your queen who looks exactly the same as that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, more or less. Probably a bit bigger, inside that palace.
But instead of like the weird goop, it's like gravy and it's,
tiffin, gravy, just a big fucking disgusting. They don't even care what meal they're having anymore.
Instead of eggs, they're just like Yorkshire puddings on the floor.
Do you want to go to Toby Carvey after this? You're basically
you could properly have a roast. That would be amazing. They found the mum alien, the mammalian, as I called it, and I thought it was being very clever.
The zoologist in me is just like, it's toiling
inaccurate.
Inaccurate.
Yeah.
Definitely not mammalian. Burning all the eggs. I'm thinking, what is this? My local cafe? Oh, lady, I said eggs, not fucking
burnt eggs,
hellfire and goddamn brimstone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think Ripley was going to burn all the eggs. There's something like quite grim about that.
I thought it was like. Again, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it feels like quite cathartic. Like she's like kind of, my life has been ruined by this alien thing. I'm going to fucking destroy everything.
I thought when she was looking at the eggs, she was having a bit of like they've got kids too, and it's like...
Killing a mum and
babies. These are also, creatures and they have their lives and stuff. And I thought she wasn't. And then she just burns all the fucking eggs. Like, if I can't have a daughter, you're not having a daughter. I'm burning all your... It just seemed grim. I don't know if I'm alone in thinking that.
Oh, that's interesting, yeah. I guess I just thought it was like kind of, I will work through my shit with aliens by destroying all aliens and making sure there are no more aliens.
I was fine with the shooting of the egg, but the burning of the egg seemed a bit more sinister. I don't know.
Maybe you've had one too many bad cooked breakfasts.
Yeah, it might just be me.
I don't know. Could just be that.
Yeah.
She blows up the queen's eggs and her egg sack. And then we get a big evacuation. This whole place is gonna blow! Ooh. And the fucking terrifying crab queen starts chasing after them. The whole place is falling apart. They go out into the big platform. The effects here looked amazing. I looked like they were in this giant fucking place.
We haven't really talked about how... We talked about the silly spaceship thing, but some of the, sets and, some of the effects and the scenery and things, it's just really good.
It's the only thing I can say comes close to it is, probably Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Because, there's other movies which we've watched and it's like, oh, wow, that's actually aged quite well. But actually, when you think about it in retrospect, things like Predator, for instance.
Yeah.
You've not got, very giant scale things. It is quite conserved in some ways. Whereas this movie seems and feels ambitious. There's big sets, there's big explosions, big set pieces.
Reminded me a lot of Star Wars at some point. Yeah, it has that feel about it.
It's aged better than the Star Wars movies have.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Maybe.
There's no fucking need to retouch these ones the way they've done with those. But I guess just really good physical effects seem to age really, really well.
Yeah.
And I don't know if James Cameron was like, you know what, I'm going to future-proof this. But it feels like it's future-proofed.
Yeah.
In 50 years' time, someone could watch Aliens and still be like, whoa, look at the explosions, look at that fucking...
I mean, they'll see the spaceship and they'll be like, oh, lol.
The aliens themselves are fucking incredible.
Yeah. Great, creepy, and...
unbelievable. They move...
tactile, physical things. Yeah.
And they don't seem like guys in suits or anything hokey. It seems like alien and weird and foreign and strange.
And I don't know if we've touched on this before, but I wonder whether, in the advent of CGI... Because we talked about the Jaws thing, where show less of the thing...
Yeah.
And it's scarier. And I think, maybe the majority of that is storytelling. I think some of that is also practicality.
Yeah.
It's expensive and...
Well, that definitely was the case in Jaws.
To rewrite expensive and difficult to show these things because you've got to get people in suits or whatever, or mechanics and whatever. With CGI, you can put in as much as you want and it costs, the same.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And I wonder whether that's slightly spoiled things because you don't have that issue of practicality. You don't have to worry about it.
Oh, let's just do it.
It's like, well, let's show as much as we can because we can and we have the money to do it. We have the effects to do it.
Like Lord of the Rings, just from watching the last episode, the CG in the opening of that, it's like it's not aged at all. And that's 12, 13 years or whatever it is. And here we are, we're looking at a movie that is 30 years old. This was 30 years old. Yeah. 86 this came out. That's fucking ridiculous. That's incredible.
And like a physical thing is always going to look like a physical thing. It might look a bit ropey or pokey or weird, but it's going to look like a thing.
Absolutely.
In the environment that it's in. Yeah.
I fucking love here when like the music is gone like hell for leather here. It's so fucking like
music's
adrenaline pumping, heart pounding. The ship arrives just in time. Jesus Christ, big explosion as they are arriving back safe. You think everything's okay. And then, my God.
I honestly fell for this hook, line, and sinker. Like, the whole, they've done it, they're okay. Like, they're just having a chat about how great a job Bishop did.
Yeah, and then Bishop gets cum-nihilated.
I thought we were at the end. I thought that was it. I thought that was really the thing. And I feel quite stupid now, but I genuinely thought, well, that's the end of the movie. Like...
Well, that shows you because you saw that big explosion, the big escape. That's satisfying.
Yeah, I was happy enough there.
It didn't need the seconds, James Cameron, but thanks anyway.
But yeah, yum yum.
Oh, there's more skin left. Oh, go on then. So yeah, Bishop gets fucking absolutely
torn in two.
He gets destroyed.
Come everywhere.
Absolutely everywhere. Yeah. Good Lord. And the Queen is there. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hi folks, Sam here. We're at the point in the episode that I warned you about, unfortunately. So what happened? Well, for this episode, I brought a fancy new microphone setup that I told Kevin would improve the quality of the podcast. Well, my hubris has certainly returned to bite me on the bottom, because for the last 10 minutes of this episode, the audio becomes glitchy and is simply unsalvageable. But don't worry, I'm not going to just end the podcast there. I'm going to try and explain what we said in those last 5 or 10 minutes, interspersed with some clips from the original audio that did actually survive. So without further ado, here is roughly what happened. Ripley emerges in her mech suit, and me and Kevin talk about how great this line is.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Ripley and the mother alien then have a really big fight. I said the final confrontation between Ripley and the mother felt a lot like Robot Wars.
They have a little pit. The pit comes
down. A little bit of fire, pokey bits.
The aliens look a bit like Sir Killer Light.
Scream, but they'll certainly hear Ripley win back in Berkshire tonight.
We compared Newt to the little kids that every Robot Wars team seems to have.
Newt is like a little kid who's with the team.
I made sausage rolls you didn't fucking do.
Miraculously, Bishop was the one that saves Newt, and Kevin uses this to try and teach me a lesson.
Maybe that will make you think twice next time you judge my fucking robot.
The alien eventually gets booted out the airlock and flies into space. Ripley and Newt go to sleep. The end. I think you could probably tell, but I really enjoyed this film. Kevin asked me if I could pick a favourite from Alien and Aliens, but I really couldn't. I think I'd have to watch Alien again to get an idea of which I preferred, but I'd really like to watch Alien 3. We discussed how there's a lot of similar films that are perhaps too macho or masculine, and the presence of some female leads who really kick ass gave Aliens an edge over more run-of-the-mill action fare. And then the time came for me to give the film a certain rating.
Still loved it and thought it was great. Yeah. So I'm going to give it a solid 4-star wipes.
Well, you heard it here first.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Cinema Swirl. This episode was produced by Kevin, recorded by Sam, which may well have been the problem here, edited by Sam, and the music is also by me. If you do have any questions, queries, comments, or otherwise, please do continue to send them in to cinemaswirl@gmail.com. That's cinemaswirl@gmail.com. You can join us on Facebook over at facebook.com/cinemaswirl or on Twitter, and that's @cinemaswirl. If you search on Etsy for Cinemaswirl, you'll see that our t-shirts are £5 off this December. Just use the coupon code TIFFIN, that's TIFFIN, because I'm a Protestant. As always, please do subscribe to us on iTunes if you haven't already, tell a friend, leave a review, and join us next time when things will get a little bit festive. Bye! Also, there's not an outtake at the end of the episode, so you don't have to wait until the end. And I promise this isn't just me telling you that. And there is one, there's not. Sorry.